It's time to rally in the valley. It's Matsu Miners Baseball, and Kevin Peel and Kyle Howard have it for you next on the Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Last night in Fairbanks, the Miners capped off an unprecedented and impressive season sweep over the Alaska Gold Panthers at Groudon Memorial Park. The Volunteers on this Miners roster came up big as Zach Warren pitched 6 solid innings, and Chris Hall's inside the park 2-run home run in the 5th inning proved to be the difference as the Miners went on to win 3-2. While up north, the Miners punched their ticket to the top of the World Series by locking up the National Division title, but tonight they look for goal number 2. Locking up home field advantage for that series against the eventual AL Division champion. Their task will not be as easy, though, as they face the ace of the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks staff, looking to improve their record to 13-2 overall over their friendly division rival tonight. Hello and welcome on out to the beautiful Herman Brothers Field in Palmer, Alaska. Miners return to Palmer for their first game at home after the All-Star break as they take on the 15-22 14-19 Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks to begin a 6-game homestand. I'm Kevin Peel alongside my partner Kyle Howard, ready to bring you all the exciting ABL action right here on the Miners Radio Network. You are currently tuned in to the pregame show brought to you as always by Napa Auto Parts. While locking up a bid to the top of the World Series is a big deal, having that series in the comfort of your own ballpark is even better for the Miners organization. With their magic number down to 1 to clinch, Miners look to lock up that tonight in a ballpark where they've won 6 consecutive games and 7 out of 8 in the month of July. All the while, the Miners look for win number 30 and to improve to 20 games over 500 in conference play. Kyle, how much would getting a win tonight mean to this Miners organization?
A win tonight would be huge, and that being the fact that it's a magic number of 1 for this Matsu Miners team. They win tonight. They have clinched the top of the World Series home field advantage, at least for the games on August 3rd and August 4th here. They would be at here if they were able to win tonight. They just need one more win on the season, but tonight would be a good way to get it done, especially against Connor Menez, who they've had troubles with against in the past. To be able to beat him tonight would be very encouraging to know that they're able to beat one of the top pitchers in this league. And going forward in the top of the World Series, expecting to face 2 top pitchers again, no matter who they're going to play, they're going to have some good pitching from either team, you'd assume. So to be able to beat a good pitcher in Connor Menez tonight and get that win would be huge for them, not only just to get the top of the World Series clincher, but also for some momentum going forward.
In an unfortunate series of events, the injury bug has struck the Miners again. Today, the Miners found out that Zach Plunkett would be sidelined for the rest of the season due to a broken finger. What does this mean? Increased roles and playing time for the other 2 catchers on this roster, J.J. Hancock and Matt Diorio. The caveat is that Diorio has been the designated hitter for this team for a good majority of the season, leaving Hancock as the one who may have to grind out a few extra starts the rest of the way. While the injury to Plunkett is highly unfortunate, Hancock is most certainly ready to take the increased playing time if need be.
That he is, and Hancock really starting to improve, maybe arguably the most improved player on this team, starting off the year struggling offensively, but has been able to hit the ball very, very well recently, putting the ball very deep in the outfield. Even on his outs, he's hit very far close to the warning track on his sacrifice flies and such. But He's improved maybe even more so behind the plate. A whole bunch of pass balls to start the year for him, but he's really cut down on those and become a much better catcher for this team, which is really what the Miners were hoping he would do in the summer. That's why they come out here to get better. But now with Plunkett going down, a very unfortunate injury, it's sad to see him go home. But Matt Diorio, a very capable catcher, as is J.J. Hancock. So you'll see those guys, maybe Diorio in a little bit different role now. Last time he got the start behind the plate. Maybe more of that going forward now because of the fact that Plunkett's now out with a broken finger and going back home to Texas. So maybe the roles will change a little bit, but I don't think it'll be too much the Miners that they can't handle going forward. They have a good team, and especially behind the plate this year.
While all this is going on, the Miners will take on a difficult pitcher who in his past couple starts has had the Miners' number. Chinook southpaw Connor Menez has led the Chinooks to their 2 victories over the Miners this season. The situation is slightly different tonight, though, for the lefty, as he will be making his first start of the season here in Palmer at Herman Brothers Field. Kyle, what do the Miners need to do today to get to the tough lefty?
They've got to get him to throw some pitches, really. Connor Menez has made 1, 2, 3 innings look easy this year against the Matsu Miners, really going up there and throwing strikes and pounding the zone and really creating problems offensively for the Miners. So tonight they just need to select their pitches, find the pitches they want, and lay off the ones that look good off his hand, and the curveballs that might run away from a hitter. Keeping an eye on those and making sure they lay off of those so they can get the pitch they want and drive it in the gap somewhere tonight. That's been an issue so far this year. Connor Menez not throwing too many pitches where they've been able to hit him in the gap, really. So it's been impressive in Connor Menez in doing that. The Miners will have a tough cookie on the mound tonight, hoping to beat him tonight and get that win.
It's almost time for baseball here in Palmer between the Chinooks and the Miners. Later on the Napa Auto Parts pregame show, we have the starting defensive alignments and batting orders for you. But coming up next, our pregame profile for today is with Miners reliever Corbin Martin. Stay tuned. You're listening to Miners Baseball right here on the Miners Radio Network. Welcome into the Napa Auto Parts pregame show right here on the Miners Radio Network. This is the pregame profile. I'm Kevin Field, joined alongside me by Corbin Martin. How you feeling?
I'm feeling great. It's a great day. Great day today.
Very good. Corbin is the 8th inning guy, setup role pitcher for this Miners team, and throughout the year you've been pretty steadily in that role. How do you like that role here? Is that something that you've always loved doing?
I was a starter in high school, so I've never really had a role like this, but I really enjoyed knowing when I'm going to come in and pitch, and the trust they have in me to be good in that role feels great, and then I get to pass the ball to break for all of his saves. So we call it the 8-9 combo, so it's fun. It's been really fun this year with the success of the team.
Yeah, and speaking of that success of this team, 29-8, they're going to be looking for win number 30 here in just a little bit against the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. What do you think of this team's performance this year? Because they've been special.
Yeah. It's not that we're just playing baseball. We're having fun playing baseball. And it's fun to play with these guys. They love the game. They respect the game, but we also have fun. But we know when to put the fun away and actually play ball, and that's really helped us out this year. And you can tell with our success. We win tonight. We clinch home field advantage for the World Series, which is great. It's an awesome feeling.
And so Corbin comes from Cypress, Texas, and also plays baseball at Texas A&M. Talk a little bit about growing up in Cypress and how you liked it, with some of the experiences you had, some of your high school playing days.
Yeah, I actually grew up in a little town called Hempstead, which is about 20 minutes from Cypress, and grew up in the country there. I went to a private school, and my mom wanted me to go to a bigger high school, so moved out to Cypress when I was in 7th grade. Went to middle school there, and then played my high school at Cy Ranch High School in Cypress, and it was great, and it was a newer school, so we knew it was going to have its ups and downs in sports, but my sophomore year, we ended up winning state in baseball and played football there, and we had a really good year my junior year. It was really cool to go through there, and the difference between the country and the city life was definitely a huge change, but really helped me become the person I was, and all the competition in my district really made me the player I was. So it was really nice moving out there.
And you're not just a one-trick pony. You also played other sports as well, football.
Mm-hmm.
Seeing a little bit of that ability yesterday at the Alaska Club, you can throw a pigskin a little bit.
Yeah, I could throw a little bit. Played quarterback, a little wide receiver, and I just like to throw it as far as I could most of the time, and it really helped me with my arm. And football's a fun sport, and especially in the state of Texas, it's a big thing with Friday night lights and stuff like that. So really caught into it. I got hurt and didn't get to play my junior year, but really enjoyed the 3 years I played in high school. So.
And was there always a dilemma of which one you really wanted to play more between football and baseball?
Yeah, it was one of those things that whenever it was in season is what I wanted to play more. So I could have gone and played college somewhere in football, I feel like. And I don't know. I miss it a lot when football season's around. But then when baseball season comes, I'm like, okay, I love baseball more. But I don't know. I kind of like the feeling of Friday Night Lights in football, but kind of put that to the side and really started to focus on baseball because I feel like that's what I have in my future. So
you even had the opportunity to have a couple discussions with one of the best college coaches in the game, who coaches at Texas A&M, Kevin Sumlin. That was pretty cool too.
Oh yeah, we talked a little bit throughout high school when he was at U of H and said he was going to be moving to A&M, and we kind of talk every now and then when I see him up at the sports complex and ask if I miss football, and I said, oh yeah, and he always jokes around, he'd come play for us, but I know baseball's my future, so I would have gotten hurt in football. I'm not the biggest guy out there, but it was fun while it lasted.
But also, neither was what would have been some of your competition in Johnny Manziel when he was there at Texas A&M. Was he ever a guy that you really liked? Were you a big fan of Johnny football?
I was a huge fan of Johnny football, and still am. With all the off-the-field distractions, even though I really enjoy watching his game and the way he plays hard. And I kind of styled my game after that because I could run a little bit, and he was fun to watch. He made plays that a lot of people can't make, and really helped A&M turn into a bigger football university like back in the old days. So I really enjoyed watching him. And we have a guy named Colin Murray coming in. He kind of is the exact same person, so it's going to be fun to watch.
And so you must have had that day when you had the realization that you could possibly come up here to play football or play baseball. Get me a little mixed up here.
Yeah.
Play baseball up here in Alaska with this Matsu Miners team. How was that day? How was that phone call like, knowing you'd be able to come up here?
I walked up in my coach's office, and I was either going to be playing in California or here, and he said, you're going to Alaska? And I said, okay, who's joining me? And he said, Brigham and Kyle. And me and Brigham had known each other for a long time, so we were excited to do that. And I love the outdoors, and I knew it was going to be beautiful up here. So I talked to some of the guys that were up here last year from our team, and they really enjoyed it. So I told Brigham it's going to be something fun out of it, and it's been amazing. The weather's been perfect. So it's really hot in Texas, so come up here in cooler weather, it's relaxing. So I've been having fun.
And during your time up here in Alaska, have you been able to participate in some of those activities that you love to do?
Yeah, we've been fishing a lot. Our host family, the Wismans, have really taken care of us, and they took us down to Homer. We fished a little bit up there, caught some halibut. We've caught some salmon, some trout down in the Russian. We go up to the Klutna every now and then, and it's really relaxing up here. We can't hunt, clearly, because we don't have the time, but that would really be cool to go hunting up here. But I really enjoy the outdoors up here, climbing the mountains, walking trails and stuff like that. You just can't do that back in Texas. So that's been amazing.
And as the season wears down for you here in Alaska, what do you want your biggest takeaway to be from this entire experience?
I don't know. Like, my coach told me to work on some stuff, and I feel like the coaches here have really helped me with that. And just enjoy the game. Like, you can't hate the game because it's going to hate you back. And I really enjoy playing up here with these guys because they make it fun. And it's the same way at A&M. And I really enjoy being around guys who respect the game and play the game really hard and have fun at the same time. So that's something I've really taken away.
Corbin?
Yep, Kev.
Thank you very much.
Awesome. Thank you.
You're welcome. Miners setup man Corbin Martin here on the pregame profile. Stay tuned. Almost time for Chinooks and Miners baseball here at Herman Brothers Field. You're listening to Miners baseball on the Miners Radio Network. top of the first inning between the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks and the Matsu Miners. Sorry for the technical difficulties there. We are underway with Kyle Simons pitching for the Miners. 4-0 record on the season for him with a 1.50 ERA, making start number 5. Pitching in his 7th game overall. Taking a called strike is Cameron Baronic on the outside corner, and the count now 2-1. He will face the Chinooks lineup tonight of at third base and batting first, Patrick Cromwell. Batting second and DHing, Matt Ferruto. Batting third and out in center field, Cameron Baronic. As this one grounded back up the middle, it could be 2. Tyler Wolf will step on second and throw on to first for a 6-3 assisted double play to end the top of the first. Instead of taking a break, though, we're going to keep it right here with you so we can fill you in on the lineups. It was a leadoff walk drawn by Patrick Cromwell. Matthew Ferruto was retired on a fielder's choice. Cromwell was put out there. And then ultimately the 6-3 double play ends the top of the first inning. So Kyle Simons, the starter, does give up a walk, but no other damage done there. And we will head to the bottom of the first. We'll finish up the Chinooks lineup for you. Batting cleanup and catching tonight, Tyler Boxwell. Batting 5th and out in right field, Caleb Potter. Batting 6th and in left, David Morton. Batting 7th and at first base, Holt Davis. Batting 8th and at second base, Will Bass. Batting 9th and the shortstop, Hunter Hanks. And starting for the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks will be Connor Menez. We'll get you his numbers in just a moment as we are set for baseball here in Palmer. No score entering the bottom of the first. You're listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network. On to the bottom of the first. No score here between the Matsu Miners and the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Miners will come to bat. Let's get you their lineups for you. Out in center and batting first will be Alex Caruso. Batting second and at short will be Tyler Wolf. Batting third and out in right field, Brick Paskowitz. Batting fourth and DHing, Tanner Nishioka. Batting fifth and at third base, Niles Nygaard. Batting sixth and at first base, Hunter Simmons. Batting seventh and catching, J.J. Hancock. Batting eighth and out in left field, Connor Wanhanen. Batting ninth and at second base, Jake Schleppenbach. As we previously mentioned, Miners righty Kyle Simons getting the start on the hill. And we'll take a look around the outfield quickly for the Chinooks. David Morton out in left, Cameron Baronic in center, Caleb Potter in right. Around the infield, Patrick Cromwell at third, Hunter Hanks at short, Will Bass at second, Holt Davis at first, and the battery of Tyler Boxwell and Connor Menez as the first pitch comes and is up high for a ball to Alex Caruso. The count now 1-0. Starting is the very familiar Connor Menez for the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Fastball is low and in for a ball on the count now 2-0. 3-1 record on the season with a 1.72 ERA. Pitching in game number 9. This is start number 9 for him. Taking a ball high and away is Alex Caruso. And the count now 3-0. On the Miners leadoff hitter, Caruso. 41 2/3 innings pitched, 38 strikeouts, and 16 walks. There's walk number 17 of the season as Caruso takes a walk there on 4 straight pitches. Kyle, not quite the start we expected from the lefty Connor Menez, who's been money all year.
And that's one way we talked about in the pregame show of a way to defeat Connor Menez, and that's to work the count and get the pitches you want. If you're laying off pitches and not chasing pitches that he'll try to get you to do with this curveball outside, then you're in good shape. And Alex Caruso works a 4-pitch walk right there.
First pitch from Menez is a called strike on the inside corner. 0-1 with a fastball. 75 degrees. It is a glorious day here in Palmer. Now early evening. Very warm, too. There's a chance of thunderstorms possibly as we go on. As this one is just fouled on that third baseline. And Tyler Wolf quickly behind the count, now 0-2. Miners in their green jerseys today with yellow lettering and numbers. White trim and white pants. The Chinooks in their red jerseys with navy blue lettering and numbers, white trim and gray pants. Camouflage hats. Menez takes a look towards first. Now the 0-2 pitch is lined hard and foul. This time down the first baseline. Count will remain 0-2 on Tyler Wolf. The umpires for today's game, Rob Mays will be behind home plate, and Chris Viverito will be the base umpire. He's standing just caddy corner to Connor Menez, right behind him on your screen. And they'll throw and check Alex Caruso, who's back in safely. Count still 0-2. Tyler Wolf having a good year so far. Has really heated up as the season's gone on. And he'll take a ball outside. Count now 1-2. Wolf up to 233 now, and this was after he struggled quite a bit at the start of the season, below the 200 mark. He has really picked it up. Now playing in his 37th game, an absolute workhorse. This one fouled back as well. The count will remain 1-2 on Tyler Wolf. This is at bat number 121 of the season for him. He has 28 hits, 3 doubles, 12 RBIs, has walked 12 times, been hit by a team-leading 6 pitches and struck out 17 times. 1-2 is hit well towards left, going back towards the corner, and it will fall down the line. Caruso being waved around third. He will be sent home, or the late stop sign put on by the skipper, and it was a good decision as Hunter Hanks had a good throw from the cutoff into home plate. Caruso would have been done for, but instead it is a double for Tyler Wolf, his 4th extra base hit of the season, 4th double, and the Miners in the first 2 batters of the game already in business as they'll bring up Brick Paskowitz with no one out and runners on second and third, no score.
That ball was absolutely roped down the left field line. A good play to get out to it by Morton to track that one down. Otherwise, around third and scoring comes Caruso. He was cut off between home plate and third base because of that throw.
First pitch to Paskowitz. There's a fastball on the outside corner for a strike. 0-1. Brick Paskowitz still second on this team in average, .352, playing in game number 28. And Menez from the stretch. Here's the pitch. And this one is tapped down that first baseline. Menez will flip to first and retire Brick Paskowitz, so the runner's not able to move up. Big out there for Connor Menez. Now they'll bring up the right-handed hitter, and first on this team in average, Tanner Nishioka.
After the first 2 runners get in a scoring position against Menez, it's a good way to buckle down and get an out. Exactly what he was looking for, to keep the runners both on second and third and get the out there on the underhand to first base.
Tanner Nishioka, no home runs, 12 RBIs, and a .395 average coming in. And he'll take a fastball for a called strike on the inside corner. Count 0-1. Tanner Nishioka, his turning point of this season was really about 4 weeks ago, where he came in off the bench, had 4 RBIs against the Chinooks team in a 13-2 rout. He fouls this one off. The bat goes flying into the stands, and that one's a goner. So Nishioka will have to go get a new bat. Count now 0-2. Tanner was swinging hard there to try and drive in a couple runs here in this bottom of the first inning. No score between the Miners and the Chinooks so far, but runners on second and third.
That's a scary moment anytime the bat flies and you're sitting in the stands. Very dangerous, and hopefully everybody's all right over down the third base line.
MEA Kids Day at the ballpark here in Palmer, and it is a glorious day for baseball. Miners playing their first home game in 9 days. Last one was that 17-1 victory over the Peninsula Oilers on July 15th. It had the Scout Showcase this past weekend. And I'm playing 3 on the road against the Panthers. Just getting back late last night after the sweep of that series. Infield pulled in here. And here's the 0-2. And this one lined into right. It will drop for a base hit. Caruso will come in to score as Tanner Nishioka's RBI single drives in the first run of this game. RBI number 13 of the season for the righty out of Pomona Pitzer College. Hit number 35, and the Miners lead 1-0 here with runners on the corners and 1 out in the bottom of the first as they get to Connor Menez early.
Good piece of hitting here, and it's just very unorthodox for Menez to get hit pretty well against the Miners here. The Miners usually struggling to get base hits off him, but so far already 2 of them and 3 base runners. They've been getting very, very well against Menez so far.
And from the stretch, here's the first pitch, and it's a curveball that hits the knees on the outside corner for a strike to Niles Nygaard. 0-1. Nygaard having a nice series up in Fairbanks. A couple big hits, some singles, a couple RBI singles. As he logged 2 RBIs in that one. This one tapped back up the middle to second. This could be 2. Flip on to second for 1. The relay is in time. A 1-6-3 double play ends the threat in the bottom of the first. But the Miners do get 1 on a Tanner Nishioka RBI single to right field. Puts the Miners on the board. They lead 1-0 heading to the second. You are listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by human error? The Matsu Miners have joined the movement to spread the public's awareness to these dangerous natural disasters. Whatever your reason for lighting a fire is, always do so responsibly. For questions on burning in the Matsu area or to learn how to acquire a burn permit, call 907-761-6338 or visit www.forestry.alaska.gov because, as Smokey Bear would say, only you can prevent wildfires. 1-0 Miners as we enter the top of the second. First pitch from Tyler Boxwell is flown to left field. It's an easy play for the left fielder, Connor Wanhanen. He takes a couple steps to his left and makes the catch. So just like that, one gone here in this top of the second inning. And I'll bring up Caleb Potter, the righty, against Kyle Simons. It was a big weekend for Caleb Potter this past weekend as he fouls the first pitch off from Kyle Simons in the count 0-1. Caleb Potter becoming the second straight Chugiak-Eagle River Chinook to win the Home Run Derby on this past Sunday afternoon in Anchorage. Him following in the footsteps of his college teammate Jackson Kramer. This one's popped up into short right field. Hunter Simmons called off late by Jake Schleppenbach as he'll make the catch right near the line. 2 gone here quickly in the top of the second inning. And that will bring up the number 6 hitter, David Morton.
Simon's making quick work so far against the Chinooks hitters. So far, 3 pitches and 2 outs for him this inning.
This after a first inning in which Kyle Simons did walk a batter. First batter of this game, Patrick Cromwell, but got a ground ball double play to get out of it. Fastball up and away for a ball. Count 1-0. Kyle Simons, a 4 pitch arsenal for the righty out of Texas A&M. Sinker, fastball, slider, and a changeup. 1-0. His fastball is high. And the count 2-0 on David Martin. Martin comes in with the second highest batting average on this team, 282. Ball low and away on a sinker from Simons, and he falls behind the count 3-0. David Martin playing in game number 26 of the season. Scored 7 runs, 1 homer, 7 RBIs, and 9 walks drawn. There's walk number 10 as he takes 4 straight pitches from Simons, all for balls. He reaches base, second base runner of this game for the Chinooks, as they look to try and get on the board and at least tie the Matsu Miners, who lead 1-0 here in the top of the second.
And Simons doesn't walk a lot of batters. Already walked 2 so far, but has not allowed a run. Got the 6-4-3 double play to end the first inning, which got him out of that base runner jam there.
Simons a very good strikeout to walk ratio this season. His fastball is high and into Holt Davis, and the count now 1-0. With those 5 straight balls, J.J. Hancock, the catcher, going to go out and have a quick chat with his right-handed pitcher, Kyle Simons. Now, these 2 walks, just his 13th and 14th of the season so far. The righty, 6'4", 210 pounds, out of Grand Island, Nebraska. Transfer student to Texas A&M. There's the pitch. Took a little something off that one, a changeup. Up and in on Holt Davis, and he swung on and missed. Count 1-1. Holt Davis being put in a big role on this Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks team, trying to fill in for the injured all-star Michael Staudinger, who was sent home with an injury. This one grounded past the glove of Simons. Wolf will get to it, though, and throw on to first in time to retire Holt Davis. And that ends the top of the second inning. Another walk for Kyle Simons, but he maneuvers his way around it. We head to the bottom of the second. Miners 1, Chinooks 0 on your home for Miners Baseball. Summer is the perfect opportunity to work on your golf game. The Palmer Golf Course is located right here in the heart of Palmer, just about 2 miles from Herman Brothers Field. Call 907-745-4653 today for more information. On to the bottom of the second. All zeros on the board for the Chinooks. 1 run, 2 hits, and no errors for the Miners. It will be 6, 7, and 8 due up in the order, with Hunter Simmons, the first baseman, due up. The righty getting the start at first. We'll be battling with Jack Zellner for starts in the near future. Zellner back and healthy. Takes a fastball for a called strike. 0-1. What a great story Hunter Simmons has been. Guy that came up here originally just to get better and really was expecting a lot of playing time, but has come in and making the most of it. This one is flown towards right, and backing up on it is Caleb Potter towards the warning track to make the catch. 1 gone here in the bottom of the second inning. And that will bring up the catcher, J.J. Hancock.
Ball flown pretty well off the bat of Hunter Simmons. He gave it a ride out to right field, but with the wind helping to carry that one out there as well. Nice play out in right field by Potter to track that one down.
Here's the catcher out of Washington State, J.J. Hancock, to step in against Connor Menez. And he'll take a slider for a strike on the inside corner. Count 0-1. Hancock 5'10", 170 pounds, out of Washington State. Had yesterday's game off. And he'll take a ball low. Count 1-1 now. But Kyle alluding to on the pregame show that J.J. Hancock, one of these most improved players on this team, if not the most improved, and for sure he has been. Takes the ball low from Menez on a fastball, and the count now 2-1. Getting that average up over 200, playing in game number 21. There's no homers, 5 RBIs, and walked 5 times on the season. 2-1. And this one tapped right back to the mound off the glove of Menez. He knocked it down, though, able to make the throw over to first in time for the out. 2 gone here quickly in the bottom of the second inning. Now bring up the left fielder, Connor Wanhanen. Connor Wanhanen with a nice 3-game series up in Fairbanks. Had a double and an RBI scored on Wednesday's game. He takes a strike on the outside corner with a slider from Menez, 0-1. Reaching base twice in that game and also knocking in 2 runs. Takes the ball up high. Count 1-1. Big 12 freshman of the year out of Texas Christian. And helped lead his team to the College World Series in Omaha. They ultimately fell just short of that championship, getting all the way to the Final Four. He fouls that one down the third baseline, foul over the head of the skipper, Ben Taylor. Count on 1-2 on Wanhanen. Infield playing him straight away, outfield the same. As the sun continues to shine down brightly on Herman Brothers Field. Swing and a miss. Got Wanhanen to chase the fastball up and away for strike number 3. That's the first strikeout of the game for Connor Menez. We head to the third. Miners 1, Chinooks nothing. You are listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network. Heading to the third, the Miners lead the Chinooks by a score of 1-0 as MEA Kids Day at the ballpark continues here at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer. Fans still filing in. Another fantastic crowd and coming out for one of the best days of the year. It's got to be mid-70s here in this late July contest. That first homestand for the Miners back in June against the Pilots was swung on and missed by Will Bass, who comes up against Kyle Simons, count 0-1. First homestand was unprecedented hot temperatures, upper 80s in that series, all series long. Swung on and missed again. Sinker on the outside corner at the knees for a strike, 0-2. But today, really perfect Alaska weather. 75 degrees and sunny. Was a threat of rain, but may not come to fruition as the sun's still shining brightly. This one tapped to the mound. Kyle Simons will scoop it up and flip on to first to Hunter Simmons for the out. 1 gone here quickly in the top of the third inning. And Kyle, we could be locked in for a bit of a pitcher's duel today. And Miners getting that first run in the bottom of the first, an RBI single by Nishioka. But both these pitchers look like they're settling in nicely.
Here through the second inning, now into the third inning, both pitchers do look like they're doing pretty well here and feel into their groove, despite the first inning for Connor Menez, which seemed to be a little bit difficult for him. A couple of blasts hit out in the outfield.
Sinker at the knees, down the middle for a called strike from Simons. Count now 0-1. On the shortstop, Hunter Hanks, batting in the 9 spot. This one's tapped to the mound as well. Kyle Simons will flip on to first. 2 gone here in the top of the third inning. I'll turn the lineup over to the top of the order. Batter will be Patrick Cromwell. No official at bat for him, but drew a walk back in the first inning and was ultimately retired in that nice 6-3 unassisted double play by Tyler Wolf. First pitch is a slider that goes outside for a ball. 1-0. Patrick Cromwell started off this season as a bottom-of-the-order guy, was struggling. The Chinooks rolled the dice, ultimately put him at that number 1 spot, and he has stayed there and produced very well. Takes a called strike on the inside corner with a fastball on the count now 1-1. Cromwell's average, although recently has dipped a bit to 226, was well over 250 for an extended period of time. 11 RBIs on the season, no home runs. Playing in his 35th game. Takes a called strike. Another sinker that time from Simons on the outside corner. And the count now 1-2. Cromwell, that everyday third baseman. Not a lot of depth at that position for the Chinooks. They've really needed him to be good. This one tapped to the pitcher, Kyle Simons. Once again, 3 straight 1-3 putouts here in this third inning as the Chinooks go 1-2-3 to retire the side. On to the bottom of the third we go. Miners 1, Chinooks nothing. You are listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network. Want to learn more about your Matsu Miners? Visit their website at www.matsuminers.org. It provides you with schedules, stats, rosters, upcoming events, and more. matsuminers.org, the official website of the Matsu Miners. 1-0 the score, Miners leading. Entering this bottom of the third inning, Connor Menez will face 9-1-2 in the Miners order. Jake Schleppenbach, the second baseman, due up. First pitch from Connor Menez is a fastball swung on and missed. Big swing by Jake Schleppenbach. Count 0-1. Schleppenbach getting that average up over 200. He's had his share of struggles, but really working hard, putting the extra time in. And in a position where he split time with Caleb Wood all season long, able to raise that average. Despite even splitting up that playing time with Caleb Wood. Missing high on a changeup is Connor Menez and count 1-1. Schleppenbach at 205 with 15 hits and 73 at bats. This one tapped towards second. Should be an easy play for Will Bass. He'll throw on to first in time for the out. 1 up, 1 down here in this bottom of the third inning for Connor Menez. Now I'll bring up Alex Caruso. Alex Caruso got the game started for the Miners. He walked and ultimately scored on that Tanner Nishioka RBI single. That opened the scoring. Miners taking that lead 1-0. Alex Caruso, another all-star, 1 of 15 on this team. Scoring his 13th run of the season as he tries to show bunt. Did he pull back in time? He did. He started running down that first baseline. Well, pulled back on the pitch that was high and in from Menez. Count 1-0. From the windup, here's the 1-0 pitch. It is just a little bit low with another fastball from Menez. Count now 2-0. Right now in the top of the second. Game to look out for. The Bucks on top of the Oilers, 1-0. As another fastball from Menez, high and away for a ball. Caruso taking the 4-pitch walk in that first inning. He's seen 7 balls so far from Connor Menez. 3-0. Called strike. Fastball at the knees. The count now 3-1 on Alex Caruso. Very significant game. The Bucks trying to keep their hopes alive for not only home field advantage in that top of the World Series. There's another called strike from Menez on a fastball. 3-2. Caruso, I think, was trying to make sure Menez was going to throw him a strike. Now he'll have to swing away in a full count situation. 3-2. It is low and in for a ball. 6 straight fastballs that time from Menez. And Caruso drawing another walk. That is his 20th walk he has drawn on the season. That leads the team. I'll bring up Tyler Wolf.
You're talking about not only is it big for the Miners and trying to get home field advantage, but for the Bucks, if they win, it's a 3-game lead over the Oilers. If they lose, it's just 1 game over the Oilers. So it's a very pivotal matchup for the Bucks in a number of ways.
Miners still leading 1-0 as Tyler Wolf digs in. With 1 out in the bottom of the third, he'll take a called strike. The changeup on the outside corner, 0-1. Now, right now, the Bucks would love home field, but they have to worry about their division first. The Oilers hot on their heels. This one grounded up the middle. Could be 2. Stepping in on second for 1 is Hunter Hanks. The relay to first is in time. So Tyler Wolf had a 6-3 unassisted double play in that first inning. Hunter Hanks answers the bell that time, and that will do it for the Miners here in the third. We go to the fourth. Miners leading 1-0 over the Chinooks. When we come back, Kyle Howard will have the play-by-play for the middle innings. You're listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network.
On to the top of the fourth inning here at Herman Brothers Field. Kyle Howard and Kevin Peel here with you. And Miners in a 1-0 ball game. They lead it. They got their 1 run in the bottom of the first inning. Leading things off here for the Chinooks is Matthew Ferruto, who takes the first pitch in there in a slider. 0-1 the count from Kyle Simons. Ferruto digging in for the second time tonight. Reached on a fielder's choice back in the first inning. So he slaps this one down the third base line. It rolls down in the corner, but that's getting past Niles Nygaard for a foul ball. 0-2 the count now on Matthew Ferruto. Matthew trying to spark a rally and get the first base hit of the evening for the Chinooks. Find themselves down 1-0. They do have a couple of base runners, on 1 on a fielder's choice. Also 2 on walks tonight. Kyle Simons has really settled down since the walks. Those retired 4 straight now as he throws a sinker in here. It's a swing and a miss by Ferruto. Down swinging goes Ferruto. Strikeout number 1 of the evening for Kyle Simons. 1 man out here in the fourth.
That time Kyle Simons really fooled him with the off-speed pitch that time, getting him way out of touch there.
So now first pitch of Cameron Bronick is swung on and missed on a fastball upstairs. 0-1 the count to Cam. He grounded into a 6-3 unassisted double play. Tyler Wolf was able to step on the bag and fire to first base. That was back in the first inning. Fastball flared down the left field line again, and it's 0-2 now. One man out here in the inning. Top of the fourth inning here in Palmer. Now Bronick will dig back in, the lefty against the righty Simons. Here's the line and the delivery. Slap foul on the third base line again. 0-2 will go again here. Foul ball at home run does damage to your car. Visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Another big 0-2 count coming from Kyle Simons. Here's a delivery. Tries to get him chasing a fastball away, and he doesn't bite, does Bronick. 1-2 the count. One man out. The outfield and infield both straight away in a very sunny evening here in Palmer. A very hot one at that. Bronick awaiting the 1-2 pitch. Here it is. Fastball runs away again. 2-2 the count from Kyle. Trying to blow away Bronick with a fastball. Challenging him with a lot this at bat. The infield going to back up a few steps now for Bronick on a 2-2 count awaiting. Here it is. Foul ball hit down the left field line again, and we'll go 2-2 on the count now. 6 pitches in this at-bat so far to Bronick in a 2-2 count. 1-0 ball game here in the top of the fourth inning. The Miners have the lead. That one run scoring on an RBI base hit to right field off the bat of Tanner Nishioka. Bronick awaiting the 2-2. Here's the pitch. Sinker misses down low in the dirt. Makes it a full count on Bronick. Bronick, of course, starting the year on center field. Played very well out there, then hurt his leg. He moved over to left field tonight, getting another start out in center field. Here's a payoff pitch from Kyle Simons. Swing and a miss on the sinker. Got him way out in front. The ball dipped on him. Back-to-back strikeouts. Strikeout number 2 on the night for Kyle Simons. And now that'll bring up Tyler Boxwell, the catcher, another all-star for this Chinooks team. He's officially 0 for 1 tonight with a fly out to left field, but he's trying to get a base hit here to keep the inning alive with 2 men out here in the fourth. The left-handed hitting Boxwell digs in. Here's the wind, the first pitch. Sinker misses low in the dirt. 1-0 the count to Boxwell. Boxwell, of course, at Chandler Gilbert Community College with Miners skipper Ben Taylor. 1-0 pitch misses outside for a ball and a fastball. 2-0 now. Boxwell and Ben Taylor getting a chance to talk it over by the concession stand before the game today. Good to see them be able to catch up. The wind and the 2-0 from Kyle Simons. Flared in the air down the left field line. Connor Wanhanen giving chase out there and makes the catch and foul ground. Oh, he does not make the catch, excuse me. It hits off his glove. It appeared that he pulled into his body as if he caught the ball, but the ball skips off his glove. That's a strike taken there. That'll be scored an error should he reach base now. But a bad break here for the Miners would have been an easy play, an easy out for Kyle Simons would have ended the inning. But now a 2-1 count coming to Tyler Boxwell as the Miners try to get out of this inning in a 1-2-3 fashion. Kyle Simons looking in for the signs. Ready now at the 2-1. Here it is. Foul back to the screen. It'll even the count of 2 balls and 2 strikes. Tyler Boxwell trying to get on board with a base hit, which would be the first of the evening for the Chinooks here. 1-0 ball game here in the top of the fourth. The Miners have the lead. Kyle Simons comes set, gets the sign he wants, now comes home. Try to get him with a sinker. It gets down in the dirt for a ball. Payoff pitch will be coming, a 3-2 count now with 2 men out. Tyler Boxwell at Stephen F. Austin State University with the transfer this year. That's where he'll be playing his ball. Here's a payoff pitch and 2 men out. Sinker runs inside now and misses inside for a ball. That's a walk here issued to Tyler Boxwell. So now the fly ball out to left field that Juan Hanen unable to pull in would have ended the inning, but now that'll allow a walk to reach. Here's a pitch. Slider misses outside for a ball. 1 ball, no strikes to Caleb Potter. Again, the home run derby champion this year for the Chinooks. 1-0 pitch to him now. Sinker gets the knees this time, and it's a 1-1 count with a runner on first base. The infield straightaway, also the outfield straightaway here. For a moment, the sun is hidden right below a couple of clouds here, but still relatively shady here. A little bit of sun peeking through the clouds. The 1-1 pitch to the slider that misses low in the dirt for a second. Hancock can't locate it, but staying put over at first base as Boxwell. 2-1. There'll be the count now to Caleb Potter. Potter getting the start in right field tonight for the Chinooks. It's a righty-on-righty matchup. Kyle Simons on the hill. Coming set with it. Here's a 2-1. Chop to the left side, and that's going out of play. That'll be 2-2 now on the right fielder for the Chinooks as Kyle Simons tries to get out of this inning. 3 walks issued now by Simons on the night. Still has not allowed a base hit. Trying to keep it that way here with Caleb Potter to get an out here to end the inning. Simons will come set and look back to runner at first. 2-2 delivery with 2 men out. Here it is. It's popped up down the first base line. That's getting out of play as well. So again, Kyle Simons will go 2-2 on Caleb Potter. Potter from Mentor, Ohio, near the Cleveland area. Simons will come set with a 2-2. Look back to runner first. Now he'll go over to first. Back safely goes Tyler Boxwell. So the 2-2, 2 outs. Miners on top, 1-0 in the top of the 4th inning. Simons comes set. He delivers home. Ground ball hit to shortstop. Charging in near the grass and firing across the infield for the out is Tyler Wolf. And after a 2-out walk, he's left stranded is Tyler Boxwell. So Kyle Simons works out of another jam here. We move on to the bottom half of the 4th inning. Make that 1-0 Miners on top right here in your Matsu Miners Radio Network. Brick Paskowitz will lead things off here in the bottom of the 4th inning. 1-0 the score. The Miners are on top. They get their 1 run back in the bottom half of the 1st inning on a base hit to right field by Tanner Nishioka. Brick Pats 0 for 1 tonight. He grounded back to the mound his first time up in the 1st. Takes a first pitch curveball low and away for a ball. 1-0 to Brick. Brick, of course, at Paradise Valley Community College, also with assistant coach Sean Winston. So he takes a changeup that misses away. 2-0 now. Brick arguably could be the league's MVP, does everything well as far as hitting, playing the field, and also pitching. 11 of 11 save opportunities this year is Brick. So he slaps this one to the right side, and diving at short right field and not making the play is Bass. He keeps it in front of himself as he goes toward the hole, but Brick Paskowitz, as I talk about how great he's been playing this year offensively as well, he gets a base hit and an infield hit here, and now with nobody out, there's a runner on first base.
And just as good of an inning as you start to this inning as you could have wanted for the Miners is a very speedy guy in Brick Paskowitz. That's how the Miners were able to score in that first inning. They were able to get the leadoff guy on and Alex Caruso, then able to bring him around. So they'll look to do that again against Connor Menez here in the fourth.
It's his team-leading 38th base hit as they throw over to first base. Paskowitz, as you mentioned, with a lot of speed, they check him over there. He's back safely. 3 stolen bases and 5 attempts for him this year. Also has 3 triples. Now Tanner Nishioka will dig in, who singled and drove in the game's only run as he grounds this one to the short. Flip to second base in time, on to first base. That's a double play. An easy play made by Hanks. Hanks makes an underhanded grab over to Bass, who makes a nice turn over to first base. A 6-4-3 double play erases a base runner Paskowitz. But now quickly for Connor Menez, 2 men out here in the inning, and that brings up Niles Nygaard.
Menez goes to one of his go-to pitches there and is able to induce the ground ball. Tanner Nishioka loves to swing at that first pitch. It wasn't a bad pitch, I don't think. Just one that Menez wanted to throw. He swung over top it and grounded it short.
Backdoor. Only run to this game so far. This one fouled down the right field line. It's quickly 0-2 now the count. 0-2, 2 outs. Niles Nygaard, the third baseman at the plate. Trying to do some damage and keep this inning alive. Here's the 0-2 here. It's a fastball that runs up and in on Niles Nygaard here. 1-2 the count. Outfield and infield will play straight away on him. Relatively deep as well. Niles Nygaard with a lot of pop. Here's the 1-2 pitch. Line drive hitting the left center field gap, giving chase in center and not getting to it is Bronick. That ball rolls all the way to the wall. Stopping at second base, standing is Niles Nygaard. For him, double number 9 of the season. That now leads the team in that category, putting him one ahead of Matt DiOrio, the birthday boy. So now with 2 men out, a runner in scoring position for Hunter Simmons.
And minus that nice ground ball double play that Connor Menez was able to induce a couple hits in this inning, while the Miners may not get anything out of this inning. Here in the fourth, already with 4 hits, 1 run on him. So it seems like they have been able to get a better gauge of Connor Menez today and a little more success off of him.
Nygaard taking that pitch and roping into the left center field gap. A runner on second base for now Hunter Simmons. This first pitch popped up to the right side and getting out of play. 0-1 to Hunter Simmons, who flew out to deep right field his first time up. Like to pop a single in and potentially score another run. The Miners getting 1 run off Connor Menez back in the first inning. They have a 1-0 lead here in the bottom of the fourth. Righty Simmons against the lefty Menez. Menez comes set. Lifts his leg and fires. Curveball, tried to backdoor him, couldn't get it to come over. 1-1 the count. Simmons, Utah this year. Played on this team last year. Part of the top of the World Series team last year. We'll get to go back there again this year. Very excited about that as Hunter. So happy that they got to clinch against the Gold Painters this past few days. Fastball runs inside. Actually, they're going to get home plate umpire Rob Mace has got the inside edge for a called strike. 1-2 the count. Hunter Simmons will have to protect the plate. 1-2 on Hunter Simmons. Menez looks back to runner at second. Here's the 1-2. Popped in the air to right field. Camping under it out in right field and hauling this one in for out number 3 is Caleb Potter. So 2 flyouts to right field on the night for Hunter Simmons. That's how the inning ends after a 2-out double by Niles Nygaard. We move to the top of the 5th inning here in Palmer. 1-0 Miners right here in your Matsu Miners Radio Network. Looking for ways to get closer to the Valley's team? Now you can. Like the Matsu Miners on Facebook. You can also follow them on Twitter at ABL Miners. The A today. Leading things off now for the Chinooks here as we enter the top of the 5th inning. David Morton has walked his first time up, looking for his first official plate appearance here. Takes the first pitch sinker on the outside edge for a called strike. Quickly 0-1 now on Morton. Kyle Simons making quick work. Now ready with the 0-1. Changeup gets the knees again. 0-2 quickly on David. Lefty Morton against the righty Simons. Here's the pitch. Changeup missing away for a ball. 1-2 the count now. David Morton trying to reach base here to start the inning. The Miners on top 1-0 here in the 5th. Here's the line, the 1-2 pitch. This one lined into right field. Past the dive of Jake Schleppenbach into right field for a base hit. Hit number 1 of the night for the Chinooks. And it comes here with nobody on, with nobody out here in the top of the 5th inning. Leadoff base hit for Morton. That brings up Holt Davis.
Solid piece of hitting that time from David Morton. Got a pitch on the inside corner and was able to pull it past the diving Jake Schleppenbach. Great effort, just couldn't quite get to it.
Runner on first, nobody out here. Squaring around a bunt and pulling back is Holt Davis now. Davis 0 for 1 on the day, grounded out the shortstop in the 2nd inning. The Chinooks first baseman has a 1-0 count on him now as Simons looks over to first base, back safely goes Morton. Now with 58 pitches on the night, 35 of them for strikes. For Kyle Simons here as Holt Davis squares around a bunt, pulls back again, but takes a strike. This one at the knees this time, 1-1 the count on Holt Davis. Again, filling in at first base with Michael Stottinger, the all-star for the Chinooks team, going down with an injury. Kyle Simons comes set, looks back to runner at first. Here's a pitch. Holt Davis squares around a bunt, pulls back again, but another sinker at the knees. 1-2 the count on Holt Davis, so now may have to pull off the sign for the bunt with 2 strikes on him. Tried to bunt the runner over, but Holt Davis couldn't get it done. David Morton will be standing over at first base, a 1-2 count now. Nobody out here in the inning. Here's a slider that gets away from the catcher Hancock. He can't find it. Kyle Simon's going to race back. Rounding second, going to third base, and sliding in safely goes Morton. Slider got away from Hancock, could not find it. Kyle Simons came booking off the hill to go get it near the Chinooks dugout. But David Morton alertly rounds second base and slides into third base past the throw. So now runner on third base. Nobody out here for the Chinooks in a 1-0 ball game, and Holt Davis at the plate. Now J.J. Hancock going to come to the mound and talk to Kyle Simons. Trying to make sure they're on the same page as the Miners will bring the infield in for the time being. 1-0 ball game here in the top of the 5th inning. The Miners getting their lone run back in the bottom of the 1st. I was on a base hit to right field off the bat of Tanner Nishioka. Now a 2-2 count on Holt Davis, though. A runner on third base. Or at least the runners on the corners will be brought in. Schleppenbach and Tyler Wolf will stay back. This one line back to the mound, caught by Kyle Simons. It was a hot shot out the bat of Holt Davis, and Simons able to react quickly, get the out, look back the runner at third base. So Morton will have to stay put at third base. A very alert play by Kyle Simons. So now with one man out here in the inning, that brings up Will Davis with a runner on third base. Will Bass, excuse me. Will Bass, 0 for 1. He grounded back to the mound his last time up. Slapped out on the left field line the first pitch. 0-1 the count. Foul ball or home run does damage to your car. But to the folks, the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Kyle Simons comes set and ready with the 0-1. Sinker grounded to first base. Hunter Simmons with the infield brought in. Will take it to the bag. Staying put at third base is David Morton. Kyle Simons outstanding so far with a runner on third base and nobody out. Nice damage control so far to this point. So now with 2 men out, that's going to bring up Hunter Hanks. He's the last hope here in the inning to score a run with a runner on third and nobody out.
Yeah, and a mistake that he really wants to come back from, that wild pitch that was ultimately able to get Morton all the way from first to third in one shot, and he's reacted very well to that so far.
First pitch, a sinker that misses upstairs. 1-0 the count from Kyle Simons. 2 men out here in the inning. David Morton stands on third base. He would single to right field, would reach second and third on a wild pitch. Here's a 1-0. Ground ball to short. Should be playable for Tyler Wolf. He'll fire in time for the out at first base. And excellent damage control done by Kyle Simons. He allows a leadoff base hit who reaches third base on the very next batter on a wild pitch, but then gets 3 consecutive batters out before Morton could come around to score, so he will be left stranded on third base. We move to the bottom of the 5th inning here in Palmer. 1-0 still. The Miners on top. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. J.J. Hancock set to lead things off as we enter the bottom of the 5th inning here in Palmer. Herman Brothers Field here in Palmer, Alaska, as Hancock digs in now and grounds the ball back up the middle. Hunter Hanks on a 1 bouncer to him will fire in time, but right behind the second base bag to get the out. Quickly 1 man out on a 1 pitch for Connor Menez. Now that'll bring up Connor Wanhanen, who's 0 for 1 with a strikeout. Connor's been hitting the ball very well recently, despite the strikeout earlier in the game. Double down the left field line a couple nights ago that would play to run. Also, even with his outs in the outfield, has hit the ball very solidly, just right at someone. First pitch, a curveball that gets the inside edge. Make that 0-1. 0-1 count now on Connor. 1 man out in the inning. 1-0 Miners here in the bottom of the 5th. Here's a pitch. Curveball misses low and in the dirt. 1-1 the count to Connor. He steps back in. The 1-1 count on him. Here's the pitch. Takes a curveball at the knees again for a called strike. 1-2 the count. Connor Menez trying to blow him away with. Here's the 1-2. Chopped off his foot and back behind over to the screen now. Count now 1-2 again. Keeping an eye on that Bucks and Oilers game out in Kenai. 1-1 the score in the top of the fourth. The Oilers will come back to tie it. Connor Menez comes set and ready with the 1-2 pitch with 1 man out in the inning. Check swing, pulling back is Connor Wanhanen here. The ball missing away. 2-2 the count. If the Oilers were to win that one, they would get a game closer now to 1 game behind the Bucks. If the Bucks won it, they keep their hopes alive and continue to push their lead to 3 games in that division, and the Miners would continue to have to play another night as this one fouled down the left field line. The Miners have to play another night to hopefully clinch the home field advantage, was what they're hoping for in the top of the World Series. The Miners, of course, if they win tonight, would clinch home field advantage here in Palmer and play the top of the World Series just about a week and a half away here in Palmer again. Here's a 2-2 count. Swing and a miss on a curveball. Connor Wanhanen slaps his bat down. Another strikeout for Connor Menez. Strikeout number 2 on the night for him. And now quickly 2 men out for the Miners as Jake Schleppenbach steps in.
Yeah, Connor Menez right now dealing has really settled down since that first inning. Also low in the pitch count, not even to 60 pitches yet here as he works in the 5th inning. So he has been efficient, although kind of low in the strikeout total. Is usually a big strikeout guy, but only has 2 so far.
First pitch slap out on the third base line. 0-1 the count on Jake Schleppenbach, who was 0 for 1 tonight with the ground out to second. Jake trying to start a 2-out rally for the Miners on top 1-0. They got that 1 run back in the bottom of the 1st inning. Here's the 0-1. Curveball, chop foul off the dirt here. 0-2 the count on the second baseman for the Miners. Outfield and infield will play straight away on a sunny evening here in Palmer. Miners in their home greens tonight. Also the Chinooks in their road reds. Gray pants to go with that. Here's the 0-2. Ground ball to second toward the first base back. Fielding and throwing in time after a double clutch is Will Bass. That is the inning here. 1-2-3 style for the lefty Menez. We move to the top of the 6th inning now. Still a 1-0 ball game. The Miners are on top. Listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Did you know that 9 out of 10 wildfires are caused by human error? The Matsu Miners have joined the movement to spread the public's awareness to these dangerous natural disasters. Whatever your reason for lighting a fire is, always do so responsibly. For questions on burning in the Matsu area or to learn how to acquire a burn permit, call 907-761-6338 or visit www.forestry.alaska.gov because as Smokey Bear would say, only you can prevent wildfires. Heading now to the top of the 6th inning in a 1-0 ball game. The Miners have the lead. That 1 run coming on a Tanner Nishioka single back in the bottom half of the 1st inning. Leading things off will be the leadoff hitter tonight and Patrick Cromwell for the Chinooks. Playing third base tonight, he's officially 0 for 1 with a walk and a grounder back to the mound. Takes the first pitch fastball away. 1-0 does Cromwell. Patrick the lefty facing the righty Simons here. Fastball missing away again. 2-0 the count from Simons. Cromwell, a freshman at Santa Ana College. Here's the wind, the 2-0. Fastball missing again away. 3-0 on the leadoff hitting Cromwell here. Trying to get aboard any way he can here to spark a rally down by a run of the Chinooks here in the 6th inning. It's the wind, the 3-0. Sinker gets the knees this time. 3-1 now on Cromwell. This inning will also have the Palmer Bar scoreboard for you. Here's the 3-1 now to Cromwell. Slap foul on the left field line, now makes the count a full with 3 balls and 2 strikes. Kyle Simons falls behind the count 3-0. Now has a chance to work back out in this at bat here and get a strikeout potentially. Here's a 3-2. Popped up in the air to the left side. Niles Nygaard giving chase, but that's out of play. A foul ball or home run does damage to your car. Visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Again, Patrick Cromwell going to face a payoff pitch in a moment. The outfield and infield straight away on him, although Caruso moving slightly toward the left center field gap and shallow. Here's a payoff pitch. Line drive hit to left center field. Caruso on his horse. That's over his head, and that's going all the way to the wall. Rounding first and heading to second base standing as Caruso now picks up the ball and fires into the infield. That's a double for Patrick Cromwell. A leadoff double here for the Chinooks, and they're in business now with the tying run and scoring position here in the 6th.
Nice piece of hitting there by Patrick Cromwell. That was a ball that just kind of kept carrying. Looked like it was going to be a routine ball for a second, but kept going towards that left center field gap. Gets over the head of Caruso. Just the second hit of this game for the Chinooks.
Third double of the season. Matthew Ferruto digs in, officially 0 for 2 on the day with a fielder's choice that he reached on back in the first, and also a strikeout swing his last time up as he squares around a bunt, bunts it in front of the mound to the third base side. Kyle Simons slips, fires across the infield, skipped in off the grass into the hands of the covering Jake Schleppenbach, but not in time. Kyle Simons slipped on the grass toward the third base line, tried to fire in time, but the ball skipped off the grass into the glove of the second baseman covering Schleppenbach. Booking it down the first base line safely was Matthew Ferruto. So now runners on the corners with nobody out here for the Chinooks. Could be a big inning for him as Cameron Baronic, the center fielder, digs in.
Yeah, dangerous situation, especially with a guy like Cameron Baronic, who they've been able to hold down nicely so far in this contest, 0 for 2, but a guy that's really been a minors killer in terms of reaching base. Now finally has a chance to try and put a devastating hit into the outfield somewhere here and try and at least tie this game up as Kyle Simons facing his first real jam, was able to work out of that one kind of self-inflicted jam back in the 5th. That wild pitch that Morton was able to get all the way from first to third, but able to retire the last 3 batters of that inning after Morton singled. And now here 2 guys reach just like that, double and an error. Tough spot.
As you said, they score that an error on Kyle Simons. The ball skipping off, or they slide over toward the third base line and the errant throw to first base. That's his first error of the season, and now it allows Cameron Baronic to bat with nobody out here and 2 men on. Runners on the corners for him. Here's a pitch. Fastball runs away from him. 1-0 the count to Cameron, officially 0 for 2 with a 6-3 double play grounded into back in the first, and also a strikeout swinging his last time up. Kyle Simons comes set with the 1-0. Here's a line drive hit back to left field. Connor Wanhanen backing up for it, makes a catch over his head. Tagging and coming home to score, though, is Patrick Cromwell, who led off the inning with a double. The game is tied here in the top of the 6th inning on a sacrifice fly by Cameron Baronic. For Baronic, now his first sacrifice fly of the season. And give him RBI now number 14 of the year for him as well. 1-1 the score here in the top of the 6th. Ball really backed up on Connor Wanhanen and really sent him back toward the wall. Hit over his head, but he had no chance at throwing home because of that. Now as Tyler Boxwell steps in, takes a first pitch fastball away, 1-0. Reached on a walk his last time up, also flew out to left field, officially 0 for 1 tonight. The runner on first base, one man out. The infield a double play depth. The outfield straight away. Swing and a miss on a sinker here. 0-2 the count now on the catcher in Boxwell. Sun peeking through the clouds again here. 75-degree night here in Palmer. Herman Brothers Field, the Miners and Chinooks in a deadlock 1-1 tie here in the 6th. Fastball runs away now, and it's a 1-2 count now on the catcher. Kyle Simons from the stretch comes set. Looks back the runner, now will throw over there. Safe at first base goes Matthew Ferruto, who reached the board on an error. Kyle Simons looking in. Boxwell at the plate. It's the 1-2 pitch. They're going to throw over to first base again. Back safely goes Ferruto. 1-1 the score here in the top of the 6th inning. Boxwell taking his cuts at the plate. 1-2 the count. One man out. Infield double play depth. Here's the pitch. Chopped to the second base side. Diving for it and not getting to it into right field for a base hit. And Schleppenbach dives for it but can't get to it. Ball heading toward the first base side of things, but a little bit too far out of the reach of Schleppenbach. Another base hit. Second of the inning now for the Chinooks. Now 4 on the night. 1 run, 4 hits, no errors for them. 1 run, 3 hits, and 1 error for the Miners. Make that 2 errors for the Miners now. Now Caleb Potter will dig in now with runners on first and second. With 1 man out, the infield will remain in double play depth. Outfield will be straight away and deep on him. This one flared to the right center field gap. Brick Paskowitz not going to get to it. The ball's going to could be cut off in right center field by Brick Paskowitz. Around to score comes Matthew Ferruto. 2-1, the Chinooks take the lead for the first time tonight. On a flared single or double now they scored as he books it around first base and gets to second base. Does Caleb Potter. It's an RBI double for him. 2-1 ball game here in the 6th inning.
Nice piece of hitting there from Caleb Potter. Just took what he was given and able to drive it into that right center field gap. Rick Paskowitz did his best to get there quickly and was able to stop another run from coming in, but now situation getting worse and worse. Still only 1 out. Runners in scoring position, 2 of them at second and third.
First pitch taken inside and low on a fastball to David Morton. Singled his last time up, was left stranded on third base. Also reached base on a walk. He is 1 for 1 in the day. As Nygaard and Hunter Simmons will be brought in. Line drive hit to center field. Caruso going to come in and make the catch. They're going to send the runner. No, they're going to hold him at third base now. Boxwell started at home for a second. Was pulled back to third base. So now with 2 men out, a 2-1 ball game. That'll bring up Holt Davis, the first baseman. Now with outdoor seating, you can enjoy a refreshing drink and food and good friends outdoors in the Alaska sunshine. Located in downtown Palmer, the Palmer Bar is a great place to take a bite to eat and take in the sights. Call 907-745-3041 today. Palmer Bar scoreboard, of course, on the way for you. Now with two men out, runners on second and third. It's Holt Davis who pops us one in the ear behind the second base bag. Now moving towards shortstop. Moving towards second base, is the shortstop, Tyler Wolf. That'll end the inning here on a pop-up, but not before the Chinooks score 2 runs and take a 2-1 lead in the top of the 6th inning. Miners out to play rally again tonight, trailing 2-1 as we move to the bottom of the 6th. You listen to Matsu Miners Baseball on the Matsu Miners Radio Network. Into the bottom of the sixth inning, a 2-1 ball game. The Chinooks playing 2 runs in the top half of 2-1 ball game. The Chinooks are on top of this one. In the bottom of the fourth inning, it's 1-1 the score between the Bucks and the Oilers. Pilots and Goldpainters just getting underway in Fairbanks. 0-0 the score there. Alex Caruso will dig in here to start the inning. Caruso has reached base twice on walks, has come around to score the only run for the Miners. That was back in the first inning. Takes the first pitch curveball in there for a called strike against Connor Menez. 0-1 the count now. Menez making quick work, delivers the 0-1, squaring around a bunt and pulling back on the curveball, and it misses down low. It's 1-1 at Caruso. Across Major League Baseball tonight in the bottom of the eighth inning between the Rockies and the Reds out in Denver. It's 4-4. The Rockies and Reds are tied. Curveball missing upstairs here. 2-1 on Caruso. Milwaukee 1, Arizona 0 out in Phoenix tonight in the bottom of the sixth inning. Texas 3, Los Angeles Angels 1 in the bottom of the fifth inning in LA. 2-1 pitch is a curveball that runs inside, jams the Miners center fielder, fouls to the left side now. 2-2 the count. Seattle Mariners have a 2-1 lead over Toronto in the bottom of the fourth. Miami and San Diego in a deadlock out in San Diego in the top of the fifth inning at 1. Giants with a 4-1 lead over the A's in the bottom of the third inning. This one lined down the left field line. That'll fall for a base hit right in front of the left fielder Morton as he picks it up now. First base hit of the night for the Miners center fielder Alex Caruso. He's reached base for the third time now with 2 walks, and now this base hit here in the sixth. The Miners trying to tie the ball game up. He would be the tying run as he stands on first with nobody out.
Yeah, this is a guy that's been a lot of trouble for Connor Menez in getting that single, and has already scored a run. Starting off this bottom of the sixth the way they need to. Now Tyler Wolf going to try and at least move him over here.
Throw over to first base. Back safely goes Caruso. Tyler Wolf, of course, doubled back in the first inning. Left stranded at third base. He also grounded into a 6-3 double play his last time up. So Menez comes set. Tyler Wolf squares around a bunt, bunts it in front of the mound. Menez going to look to second, but going to throw over to first base in time. A successful sacrifice bunt for the base as the potential tying run in Alex Caruso. 2-1 ball game here in the top of the sixth inning between the Miners and the Chinooks. The Chinooks on top now. That'll bring up Brick Paskowitz.
Very nice play there. Thought maybe with Miners struggling a bit offensively that they would try and go to the bunt against Connor Menez. Good decision there. Got it down nicely. Now a base hit. And tie this ball game up with speedy Alex Caruso on second.
Fastball runs away for a ball. 1-0 on Brick, who is now 1 for 2 in the night. A single his last time up. Also grounded back to the mound his first time up. 1-0 count on him. 1 man out. Runner standing on second base. Now 68 pitches thrown by Connor Menez here in the inning. As this one lined back up the middle, that'll get into center field. They're going to hold Alex Caruso at third base. The throw gets back home plate. On to second base with the throw is Brick Paskowitz. So the ball gets back to the screen now. So the throw from Veronic errant back home that allows Brick Paskowitz to reach second base. They held Caruso at third base. They tried to cut him off at home plate. But now runners on second and third with just 1 man out for the Miners. That'll be an error on Cameron Baronic on the throw. The Miners now with a chance to not only tie the game, but potentially go ahead again with Tanner Nishioka, who did plate that only run back in the first inning with a base hit. Now would like to put 2 and 3 on the board with another base hit. Menez delivers home. It's a fastball that misses up and inside. 1-0 now. Tanner, of course, with that RBI base hit, also grounded into a 6-4-3 double play back in the fourth. Menez comes set against Tanner Nishioka. Here's the pitch. Popped up to the right side, giving chase, but not making room for it. Out in right field is the right fielder and Potter. Potter made a long run toward the Miners bullpen, but couldn't flag it down. It looked like it might hang up for a long time up to make the play out there, but not enough room for Potter out there. It's a strike. 1-1 the count. Continuing your Palmer Bar scoreboard. Final and 10 today. Philadelphia 5-3 winners over the Cubs on the road. Pirates score 5 runs off Max Scherzer and win it 7-5 today over the Washington Nationals. Connor Menez coming set against Tanner Nishioka here. 1-1 the count. 1 man out. Runners on second and third. Popped up on the infield to the right side. Holt Davis calling for it near the first base bag. He makes the catch in foul ground, and a big out called for Connor Menez now. 2 men out. Runners on second and third. A pop-up, certainly not what the Miners were looking for here, but still have a chance to get a run here with Niles Nygaard stepping the plate, who did double his last time up. Officially 1 for 2 on the night. Would like another base hit here to put the Miners, at least tie the game, maybe even put them ahead. Now continuing your Palmer Bar scoreboard for the night as well. Cleveland loses 6-0 at home over the White Sox tonight. Boston 2, Detroit 1. And that was a final in 11 as a mound visit now to the mound to talk with Connor Menez to make sure they're all on the same page. Tampa Bay 3, Baltimore 1 today. That was in Tampa Bay. The Los Angeles Dodgers beat the Mets on the road 7-2 today as well. Out in Kansas City, 4-0. The Astros take it today. Minnesota 10, New York Yankees 1, and out in Minneapolis. And the St. Louis Cardinals continue their winning ways, winning 4-2 at home over the Atlanta Braves today. As that rounds out your Palmer Bar scoreboard. And this one, scoreboard on this one here, it's a 2-1 Chinooks lead here. Niles Nygaard in a big spot in this ball game. Miners third baseman trying to put the Miners ahead, maybe at least tie it here at the base hit. So the outfield going to play back on him straight away. The infield will be playing straight away on Nygaard as well. Here's the first pitch to him. It's a fastball that runs up and in. 1-0 to Niles Nygaard, the third baseman. Connor Menez working from the windup here with runners on second and third and 2 outs. Here's the wind and the delivery. Swing and a miss on the fastball. Evens the count, 1 ball and 1 strike. 2 men out here in the inning. Nygaard trying to be the hero tonight and put the Miners ahead here. Here's the 1-1. Slap down the first base line. Holt Davis will dive for it. Can't get to it. That's in the corner. Rounding third and scoring is Caruso. Now coming around to score is Brick Paskowitz. That's another double down the right field line from Mr. Clutch. And Niles Nygaard, another double. It's second of the evening. His team leading 9th of the season. And now the Miners, after falling behind for the first time of the night in the 6th inning, would score 2 more to equalize that. They lead it 3-2 here in the 6th.
Big time piece of hitting there by Niles Nygaard. Just a little tapper, but Holt Davis was playing a little bit off the line that time and just put it perfectly down into that corner. Clutch hit that the Miners needed. A 2-out double.
So now it'll be Hunter Simmons stepping the plate, takes a first pitch fastball low and in. 1-0 on him. He has flown out to right field twice tonight. The Miners getting 3 runs off Connor Menez, which is something unheard of, something they haven't done all season long now. It's the first time they've done that, and they have a 3-2 lead on them here in the 6th inning. 2 men out here in the inning. Here's the pitch. It's a ground ball. Nearly clips the base umpire, Chris Bifarito, but falling right under his legs. Now getting to it is the shortstop, Hunter Hanks. He fires across the infield to get the out, and that'll do things for the Miners here in the 6th inning. But Niles Nygaard with an opposite field base hit down the first base line, plates 2 more. The Miners regain the lead 3-2 as we move to the top of the 7th inning with Kevin Peel taking over the play-by-play action for the rest of this one. Miners 3, Chinooks 2, right here in your Matsu Miners Radio Network.
Heading to the 7th inning here at Herman Brothers Field. Big 2-run double by Niles Nygaard gives the Miners the lead back 3-2. Entering the 7th inning will be Will Bass, Hunter Hanks, and Patrick Cromwell. 8, 9, and 1 in the order due up for the Chinooks. Miners getting to Connor Menez for the most runs he's given up against the Miners this year now. 3 in one start. That's a called strike on a sinker on the outside corner from Kyle Simons. Count now 0-1. Kyle Simons, after a tough top of the 6th, now back in line for a victory, swinging a miss at the slider. It was below the knees and inside. Count quickly 0-2 on Will Bass. Will Bass today 0 for 2, 2 groundouts. He's ready, and here's the 0-2. This one popped foul and out of play down that left field line. Count will remain 0-2. Not many open seats at the ballpark here today for MEA Kids Day. Miners fans have come out in droves watching this 29-8 ball club. So Kyle Simons now from the windup shakes off his first sign. Now he's ready. And that one misses outside for a ball. Change up that time from the righty. Count 1-2. 2 runs, 4 hits, 1 error for the Chinooks. 3 runs, 7 hits, 2 errors for the Miners. So we play in the 7th. 1-2. Is just off the outside corner with a sinker. Simons thought he had another strikeout, but he just missed the outside corner that time. Count now 2-2. Looking for strikeout number 3 is the righty Simons. Here's the pitch. And a slider tried to backdoor him, just missed. No, they will say it is a late strike 3 called. Nice backdoor slider that time from Simons. Does get his 3rd strikeout of the game. Now 1 gone here in the top of the 7th. And that will bring up Hunter Hanks. Hunter Hanks on the day. 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts, just like the batter ahead of him, Will Bass. Here's the first pitch. Sinker misses low and in for a ball. Count now 1-0.
That on the 90th pitch here for Kyle Simons here in the 7th inning.
Miners trying to get 7 strong out of their righty today. This one lined hard, but out in front of it was Hanks, and he pulls it foul out of play down that 3rd base line. Count now 1-1. Miners were able to get 6 last night out of Zach Warren, who ended up getting his 4th win of the season to improve to 4-1 in that 3-2 win over the Gold Panthers in Fairbanks. 1-1 pitch. And this one is lined softly between short and 3rd, perfectly placed into left field for a base hit. 5th hit of the game for the Chinooks. And Hunter Hanks gets his 1st hit of the game and his 17th hit of the season right there. 1 gone, runner at first here in the top of the 7th. Miners ahead 3-2. I'll bring up the top of the order, and Patrick Cromwell, who started off that 6th inning the way the Chinooks needed, able to double and come in to score on a single called strike with a sinker on the inside corner. Count 0-1. Patrick Cromwell has reached twice today, walked back in the 1st as well. Takes that changeup outside for a ball, and the count now 1-1. The only time he was retired was back in the 3rd, tapped one back to the mound. From the stretch, here's the 1-1 pitch. Just misses low again with another changeup. Count now 2-1. Caruso playing the late shift on Cromwell out there. Stationed a little bit towards left center field. Rest of the outfield playing straight away. Throw to check the runner. He's back in safely. Schleppenbach and Wolf playing in double play depth to try and get a ground ball to end this 7th inning. Throw. And another quick tag from Hunter Simmons, but back in safely is Hanks. Count remains 2-1 on Cromwell. Here's the 2-1. And it hits the outside corner with a strike. A nice fastball from Simons. Count out 2-2. No action in the Miners bullpen. They trust their righty. Can get the job done here in the 7th. Another throw to check the runner, and he's back in safely. Miners will most likely get some action up in the bullpen in this bottom of the 7th inning, though. If the score stays where it is, this one tapped towards second, could be 2. Schleppenbach onto second for 1. The relay is in time. What a stretch that was by Hunter Simmons, holding the bag. Cromwell was really hustling down the line. It took a rocket of a throw from Wolf, but he got him at first. 4-6-3. And that is the inning. Simons through 7. And so is this game, now through 6.5. We had to stretch time here at Herman Brothers Field. Miners 3, Chinooks 2 on the Miners Radio Network. Tonight's 7th inning stretch brought to you as always by the proud ladies at the Cindy Heel Allstate Insurance Agency, located at mile 3 of the Palmer-Wasilla Highway at Midtown Estates. If you are in good hands, ours. Give us a call or stop in anytime. Cindy, Kelsey, Julie, and Sky are ready to be your trusted advisors. Go Miners. It will be 6 for 7, 8, and 9 in the order for the Miners, due up here in the bottom of the 7th. Once again facing Connor Menez. Back to the hill, comes up swinging. Is Hancock swung through a changeup from Menez. Count 0-1. Menez right now in charge, in line for the loss, though. If his offense isn't able to get him any more runs, this one's tapped foul. Oh, swinging bunt, if you will, down that third base line. Hancock will retreat. Count now 0-2. MEA Kids Day has been a great turnout. Also a special day for a Miner at Diorio's 20th birthday today. And celebrating with the day off, I suppose. A hard-earned day off. They're going to need him going down this stretch. In the final 7 games of this season after today. This one lined to left, and it will get down for a base hit down towards that left field line. Hancock will round first, but stay there. It's a leadoff single to start this 7th inning. And a leadoff single ultimately bit Connor Menez back in the 6th as the Miners were able to take the lead. Now Connor Wanhanen will be the batter.
Nice piece of hitting down the left field line for J.J. Hancock, helping to run the pitch count up on Connor Menez. Now 55 strikes, 25 balls. Good for 80 pitches now in the night. Slowly creeping up on the pitch count radar. Has been pretty effective to this point, though.
Miners trying to get into that Chinooks bullpen. There is some action warming in it just in case. Change up just off the outside corner for a ball from Connor Menez. Count now 1-0 on Wanhanen. The Miners left fielder has struck out swinging twice today. He's 0 for 2. 1-0. And he gets the bunt down, but hit off his leg at the plate, so that'll be a foul ball. Count now 1-1. Trying to lay that bunt down the first base line and tapped it at the plate. Lefty against the lefty here. 2 Connors squaring off, Menez and Wanhanen here in this bottom of the 7th inning. 3-2 the Miners lead. They're going to throw to check the runner, Hancock, and he's back in safely. Hancock getting his first hit of the game, that single to left, to open up this 7th inning. Menez From the stretch, Juan Hanan showing bunt, and it's a pop-up, and it's caught, and Hancock stuck. It will be a double play as Juan Hanan not able to get the bunt down, popped it up at home plate. Boxwell catches it and throws on to first. You're not so routine 2-3 double play. 2 gone quickly just like that here in the bottom of the 7th inning, and that will bring up Jake Schleppenbach. Schleppenbach on the day, 0 for 2 with 2 groundouts. And this one hit towards right field, going back is Potter towards the warning track. And he will make the catch to retire the side. So just as quickly as the threat began in the 7th inning, it ends with no runs coming across. We head to the 8th. Miners still leading 3-2 over the Chinooks here at Herman Brothers Field in Palmer. You're listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network. Miners head to the top of the 8th here, leading 3-2. The night is going to be done for Kyle Simons, though. New pitcher will be Caleb McCann. We'll tell you about him in just a minute as Kyle Simons logged 7 innings tonight, faces 28 batters, 2 runs, 1 of them earned, 5 hits, gave up 2 doubles, 3 walks, 1 wild pitch, 3 strikeouts, and ultimately ends up with 97 pitches with 61 of those for strikes. A good night on the hill for Kyle Simons, in line for his 5th victory of the season, looking to improve his record to 5-0 and tie 2 other Miners with 5 victories on the year. That's at the top of the ABL in that category, with Eli Morgan and also James Harrington, who just got there the other night on Tuesday in Fairbanks. The new pitcher will be Caleb McCann. And the first pitch to Matt Ferruto is inside for a ball. Count 1-0. Caleb McCann comes in to his 14th game of the season with a 1-0 record, 1.62 ERA, 16 2/3 innings pitched. This one's grounded to short. Be an easy play for Tyler Wolf, who had to range away from first base initially, as that ball was grounded in between that hole in short and third. But he is able to make the throw in time. 1 gone here in the top of the 8th. Miners still up by 1, and that'll bring up Cameron Baronic. Caleb McCann, in those 16 2/3 innings pitched, has 9 strikeouts, 7 walks, has given up 10 hits. Takes a ball inside. Count now 1-0. The last time Caleb McCann gave up a run was on June 21st. In a 5-3 win against the Pilots. It was an earned run in an inning and 2/3. This ball taken outside by Bronick for a ball, and he's ahead in the count 2-0. But since then, 10 appearances without giving up a run. Caleb McCann, he has been money. Swung on and missed by Baronic. Change up on the outside corner. And the count now 2-1. Caleb McCann really had a fantastic 2 games up in Fairbanks as well, getting his first win of the season in that Wednesday game, as this one's popped up into short center field. Tyler Wolf was ranging under it, but Caruso going to come all the way in, calling off Wolf, will make the catch. And quickly 2 gone here in this top of the 8th. That'll bring up the cleanup hitter, Tyler Boxwell.
Caleb McCann doing what he does best, and that's to make quick work of opposing hitters. Like as you mentioned, not since June 21st has he allowed a run. Now so far 2 outs and 5 pitches. He's been dominant on the hill.
Called strike. Caleb McCann with a slider on the inside corner at the knees. Count 0-1. Tyler Boxwell today has reached base twice, walked in the 4th, and singled in the 6th. The only time he was retired was a fly out to left back in the 2nd. He pops that one out of play. Foul over the Chinooks dugout. He's quickly behind in the count, 0-2. In that win on Wednesday, came in on a night when Eli Morgan was not having his best stuff. This was popped up into short left field. Connor Wanhanen coming in, still coming in, and towards the line to make the catch. 1-2-3 inning for Caleb McCann, who came in to set up the closer, Brick Paskowitz, who will most likely come in to try and close this one down if the score stays the way it is. 3-2 heading to the bottom of the 8th here in Palmer. You're listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network. The Miners spend their mornings lifting, running, and staying in shape by visiting the Alaska Club. Visit them in Anchorage, Eagle River, Fairbanks, Juneau, and the Mat-Su Valley. Visit www.thealaskaclub.com. Proud fitness partner of the Mat-Su Miners. Top of the order coming up here as the Miners leading 3-2 entering the bottom of the 8th inning. Caruso, Wolf, and Paskowitz due up. Alex Caruso has had a field day today against starting pitcher Connor Menez, who will return to the hill trying to get through 8 innings. But right now in line for the loss. Called strike with a changeup on the outside corner at the knees. 0-1. Alex Caruso walked in the 1st and scored, walked in the 3rd and singled and scored in the 6th. He drags a bunt towards the pitcher Connor Menez, who will get to that one quickly and flip on to 1st. Tried a little trickeration there from the center fielder, Alex Caruso. Tried to reach via the bunt, but Connor Menez was on to his tricks, able to get to it quickly and throw him out. 1 gone here in this bottom of the 8th inning. I'll bring up Tyler Wolf, who is 1 for 2 today. Takes a ball outside on a fastball. I want to know. Doubled in that 1st inning. Was stranded over there at 3rd, grounded into a double play in the 3rd, and had a sacrifice bunt back in the 6th, which helped move some runners over, and was very important. This one line just foul. Holt Davis was going for it hard down that first base line. It wasn't a hard liner, just a soft one, but it got just foul past the outstretched glove of Holt Davis. Count now is 1-1.
Corbin Martin comes out from the bullpen, slips on the grass out there, trying to, and ends up getting the baseball, handed it to a fan out there, but interesting to see him get to it.
1-1 is fouled out of play, and the count now 1-2 on Tyler Wolf. Foul ball or home run does damage to your car. Visit the folks at the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. 1-2 from Menez. Swung on and missed. Got him to chase with a high fastball up above the letters. First time that Tyler Wolf has struck out today. And another strikeout for Connor Menez. Now we'll bring up Brick Paskowitz. 3 strikeouts on the game now for Connor Menez. Got to be impressed with Brick Paskowitz, guy that was just warming up a minute ago over in the bullpen. He'll come in the 9th inning to try and close this one out. Looks like the score going to stay 3-2 here. There's 2 outs, but he's going to try and start a rally here to give himself some runs. Takes a changeup at the knees. 0-1. He's just warming up. Had to run back to the dugout, get his batting stuff ready, and come up and face Connor Menez. Takes a fastball low and in for a ball. Count now 1-1.
And he's had some success off Menez today also. Him and Caruso both today with 2 hits. Also Nygaard with 2 hits on the night as well. So it's been a good day for those 2 guys.
1-1 is outside for a ball. And count now 2-1. Connor Menez only giving up 3 runs in these 7 2/3 innings, really making a case for being the best pitcher in this league, as this one's fouled out of play. Count 2-2. Has had a fantastic year. Now approaching 50 innings of work. Well, that record may not indicate it after today. If he gets the loss, it would fall to quarter and rings up Brick Paskowitz, strike 3. That will end the bottom of the 8th inning. The Miners will head to the 9th. It's Brick time here at the ballpark once again. They lead by 1 heading to the 9th. Brick going to try and close it out for his 12th save of the season. You're listening to Miners Baseball on the Miners Radio Network. Welcome back to Herman Brothers Field. Our broadcast sponsor, as always, Napa Auto Parts. If your car needs a new taillight or just any sort of nut, bolt, or screw, be sure to visit the Valley's locally owned and operated Napa Auto Parts. They're in Big Lake, Palmer, and Wasilla. Visit www.napaalaska.com. Caleb McCann came in the 8th inning. Out of position, really, for him. Corbin Martin, the normal setup man, had the night off, but Caleb McCann did fantastic work, and now that will leave it to Brick Paskowitz, the closer, with the Miners leading 3-2 here in this top of the 9th inning. Brick Paskowitz coming in to pitch now in his 16th game as a 2-0 record, 1.0 ERA, 11 saves, looking for save number 12, 18 innings pitched, 8 strikeouts, 10 walks, and 7 hits given up. Caleb Potter comes up and fouls this one down that first base line. Hunter Simmons still coming on, slid into the fence as it got out of play. So just an exciting strike that time for Caleb Potter, who falls behind in the count 0-1. Caleb Potter on the game had that big double to right field back in the sixth, which gave the Chinooks the lead at that time, 2-1. 0-1 pitch is a fastball for a strike at the knees on the inside corner. Count now 0-2. Brick Paskowitz coming in and getting the save in last night's game, but before then hadn't pitched since July 15th in ABL action. Got an of work against the Oilers, swung on and missed as Brick Paskowitz threw a beautiful slider that was off the outside corner and gets a strikeout. That is his 9th strikeout of the season. One down here in the top of the 9th, and that will bring up David Morton. David Morton, the left fielder, has reached base twice today, walked back in the second, single in the fifth, was stranded at third, and flew out back in the sixth inning. So the Miners here ahead, 3-2, as Morton comes up this one line towards right field. Chris Hall coming in, and did he make the catch? He did not. He trapped it. David Morton gets on with a single here, the 6th hit of this game for the Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks. Now the tying run on base here with 1 out in the top of the 9th. Brick Paskowitz on for the save, but going to be a little bit more difficult of a situation for him. I'll bring up Jacob Brobst. He will pinch hit for Holt Davis here in this spot with 1 out and that runner on first. Chinooks trailing by 1. Jacob Brobst out of Ohio State University. First pitch from Paskowitz is a fastball that's high for a ball. Count now 1-0. Brobst's highest average on this team of 303, playing in now his 30th game. We're over to check the runner, and he's back in safely. 27 hits and 89 at-bats coming in. 4 RBIs and has walked 15 times. Struck out 26 as he takes the ball high. Count now 2-0. That is an unfortunate statistic for Jacob Brobst, tied for 2nd on this team in strikeouts. The leader in that category for the Chinooks is Will Bass with 35 strikeouts on the season. 2-0 is on the inside corner for a strike. 2-1. You heard the crowd cheering when David Morton hit that single. It wasn't for Morton hitting that single. It was because there's been a season-high crowd today at this MEA Kids Day. 1,286 to 1. He's fouled out of play down that first base line. The count will be 2-2 on Brobst.
Well, Kevin, if the Miners win this one here, they will clinch top of the World Series at home field advantage for that. Imagine what the crowd would be like for that one, with 1,286 fans here to witness this tonight.
And they have been very supportive. Best fans in the ABL coming out every night, whether the weather's good or bad, or doesn't matter. They come out anyway. Fastball up and away for a ball. And now a full count on Jacob Brobst. 3-2. But before they can try and clinch for that top of the World Series home field, they have to get through these next 2 outs. Pitches inside for a ball, and taking his base is Jacob Brobst, drawing his 16th walk of the season. That one didn't miss by much. It was a fastball low and in. And now 2 on with just 1 out. And that'll bring up Will Bass.
Another tough situation for Brick Paskowitz here. 2 guys reaching here with 1 man out. Runners on first and second for him, though, but the infield still a double play depth, with the double play still in order for Bass. But that's going to draw a mound visit here from the pitching coach, Matt Grilly, to make sure everyone's still on the same page and Brick Paskowitz doesn't get too hyped up here. Of course, Brick has pitched in some jams before, having bases loaded situations to end ball games before. Has been a perfect 11 for 11 in save opportunities this year. Sure, Matt Grilly is just trying to give him some words of encouragement out there to keep him a little confident, keep his confidence up there on the hill right now.
The only time that Brick Paskowitz has given up runs this season was on June 30th, giving up those 2 earned runs in that 1-inning save against the Chinooks. That ball game in which Brick Paskowitz froze Holt Davis with a fastball in the inside corner at the knees to end that ball game in Chugiak, and earning the save in what turned out to be an inning in which he faced 8 batters, struck out 2, walked 3, still earned the save. And he's going to have another tough one here to try and close down, with the batter being Will Bass. Good speed on the base paths, too, for the Chinooks team, with David Morton and Jacob Brobst on first and second, respectively. 3-2 Miners lead. And the sliders at the knees for a called strike from Brick Paskowitz. Count now 0-1 on Will Bass. Alex Crusoe playing the late shift once again on another Chinooks hitter, this time Will Bass, as he's shaded a little bit towards the left center field gap. Paskowitz takes a couple looks towards second. They're going to try the play to throw him out, and he's safe, is David Morton. In a game earlier this year against the Chinooks in Chugiak, Brick Paskowitz was able to use that play to his advantage and used it to his advantage last night in helping close down that game, and Fairbanks picking off Scooter Bynum at second base. So it grounded to short, onto second for 1. The relay is not in time as Will Bass beats it out. Brick Paskowitz can't believe it, thought they had him. It was as quick of a flip as Tyler Wolf could give to second base, and Schleppenbach had a rocket come out of his arm, but just couldn't quite get it there to the first base bag, much to the chagrin of the Miners fans. So the tying run now just 90 feet away with 2 outs, and home field advantage for the Miners all on the line here. As that will bring up Hunter Hanks. First pitch is a slider for a strike at the knees. 0-1. Hunter Hanks on today's game is 1 for 3, with 2 groundouts and a single back in the 7th. Paskowitz takes a look in. Here's the 0-1 pitch. Swung on and missed. Way out ahead, the slider again. And a count now 0-2. The fans giving their appreciation. And they will try and urge Brick Paskowitz with one more pitch to try and lock this one down. On third is David Morton, the tying run. On first is Will Bass. Here's the 0-2. Fouled straight back right at us. Look out, Kyle. As
Nearly took me out up here.
Our heads.
Nearly took me out up here.
Count now 1-2. Really fighting off that pitch was Hunter Hanks. Chinooks down to their last strike, though. And here it is. Swung on and missed. He struck him out with a slider. Brick Paskowitz closes the door yet again. Save number 12. In a dicey situation with the tying run once again 90 feet away from home. Brick Paskowitz gets strikeout number 10 of the season, and the Mat-Su Miners get win number 30 to improve their record to 30-8, 27-7 in ABL play. The Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks fall to 15-23 and 14-20 in ABL play. As the Miners can mark down another victory, they improve to 13-2 now against the Chinooks on this season. That's including non-conference games as well. But they are still undefeated at home against the Chinooks, and the Miners now have won 7 in a row at home, 8 out of 9 in this month. Their only loss was that 7-6 loss to the Bucks on July 5th. And most importantly, Kyle, the home field advantage is sealed for the Miners. The top of the World Series will be played this year, most likely against the Anchorage Bucks, who right now are leading 4-1 in that ball game in the 6th inning. The Bucks looking to take a 3-game lead in that division. They will face the Oilers for the final time of the season tomorrow, where the Bucks have a lot of home games coming up in really good shape if they can lock down that win down on the Kenai Peninsula over the Oilers. But here in Palmer, it's a very happy crowd. 1286 tuned out to come to this game on a beautiful Friday evening here in Palmer, and they witness a second consecutive 3-2 win for this Matsu Miners team.
Very impressive performance for the Miners now. What a week it's been for them, winning just a couple nights ago to seal the deal and win the NL division. They don't stop there. They continue to win. They have not lost a game since that's happened. Now 4 consecutive wins for them, and now lock up home field advantage in the top of the World Series, which gets it done now. They'll, no matter who wins the AL division, they'll be coming here to Palmer in just a couple weeks. And again, going back to the fact that there were 1,286 fans on hand tonight, I can't even imagine what it's going to be like in a couple of weeks here in Palmer when the Miners host the top of the World Series. The first time they'll ever done that. Of course, last year, the first year they've done that, had the top of the World Series, that is. In the past, they've had a playoff format, but this year, or the last 2 years, moving to the top of the World Series format. The Miners will host that for the first time. Last year, playing it in Anchorage, but this year, going to come back home to Palmer, and it'll be great to see them play out in front of their home fans.
And so with that, you are now listening to the Napa Auto Parts post-game show. We have the player of the game as well as the skipper, Ben Taylor, on to talk with us. Another tight game between these two friendly division rivals, but once again, for the 13th time in 15 tries this season, the Miners defeat the Chinooks and lock up home field advantage in the top of the World Series to be played on August 3rd and 4th here in Palmer for the rights to the ABL Championship. Stay tuned. You are listening to the Napa Auto Parts post-game show and Miners baseball right here on the Miners Radio Network. Welcome back into the Napa Auto Parts post-game show. I'm Kevin Peel, joined with the skipper, Ben Taylor. How you feeling tonight, Skip?
Awesome, man. Awesome. We get to host the World Series.
Very good. Yes, you guys will. First time ever in the history of the top of the World Series format. You guys are going to be playing here in Palmer. Has got to be a very reassuring feeling for you guys.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, we've got great fans, and we packed it pretty good tonight. I think we had like the biggest crowd in Pete's history as GM. I think we had like 1,200 people here tonight. It felt like the energy was awesome, and it was big for the guys. And it's pretty cool.
And definitely have got to be the best fans in this ABL with how well they've turned out for you, even when the weather isn't nice. But today it was a great day for baseball.
Yeah, man, they support these guys thick and thin, and they understand that we got something really special here, and the fans are awesome. They're awesome for us.
And also another milestone for you guys, getting to win number 30 in just 38 attempts. Now 20 games over 500 in the ABL at 27-7. Has got to be good for you guys feeling as well.
Yeah, it feels awesome. It feels awesome. We get to check off a couple boxes tonight, and that's always fun post game. And just it's pretty cool when we get home at 3 o'clock in the morning and report times at 2:30, and I got 3/4 of the team here at 1 o'clock, and our clubhouse is pandemonium at 1 o'clock, and they're out on the field early. They don't have to be out to the field till 3, and they're on the field at like 2:35. And that's who these guys are. They love being here. They love being in the clubhouse, and these guys play so hard for each other. It's awesome.
Let's dive into the game a little bit. Miners winning 3-2 here. Has to be especially rewarding beating a guy like Connor Menez, a guy who's really kind of had your guys' number recently, has won his last 2 starts against you guys, but you came out, got the clutch hit off of Menez from Niles Nygaard, our player of the game, in that 6th inning, right after Simons gave up the lead.
Yeah, I mean, Menez is tough. He does a good job, and he's had our number twice, and these guys, they really respect him. He can really pitch, and he really competes hard against us, and it's I really liked how we swung the bat against him, though. We might not have had a lot to show for it, but we swung the bat early, and we were aggressive, and we made a lot of hard contact, whether we were getting our base hits or not. So it was good, man. It was a good night all the way around.
And we talk about Connor Menez, but how about Kyle Simons, a guy who was really going neck and neck with him the entire way, pitched a fantastic 7 innings of you, just 97 pitches on that outing as well. He really did the job in making sure you guys were able to stay out in front. The offense helped him out eventually, but he really locked down the Chinooks offense.
Yeah, Dad does a good job, and he competes hard, and he's a big reason why Texas A&M was ranked number 1 in the country for as long as they were, and we're just really lucky to have somebody so quality on our staff.
And you guys will have the Chinooks one more time on the season tomorrow here in Palmer. What are your thoughts going into that game?
Go Miners.
There we go. Thank you, Skip.
Thanks, buddy.
Another win tonight for the Miners. They improved to 30-8. Stay tuned. We'll be here with the player of the game, Kyle. We'll talk to Niles Nygaard in just a second. You're listening to the Napa Auto Parts postgame show right here on the Miners Radio Network.
Welcome into the post-game show, brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. With player of the game, and Niles Nygaard. Congratulations, Niles, again. You've been up here a couple times this year. You continue to cut the cover off the ball, so I guess if you keep doing that, you're going to keep getting these interviews within the game.
Yeah, thank you.
It's, again, an outstanding performance for you tonight, getting 2 doubles, and one, I'm sure, a very special one. One was down the right field line just past the first baseman, Holt Davis, that would end up playing the 2 go-ahead runs talk about that moment for you and it being able to now say you were the one that drove in the go-ahead runs now that would put your team in the home field advantage situation now going forward.
Well, the first inning, I had the same opportunity, runner on third. We're first and third, 1 out, and I grounded in a double play. So coming up to this at bat, 2 outs, runner on second and third. I just want to get the job done and put my team ahead so we could clinch home field for the playoffs.
And now 10 doubles on the season for you, lead the team in that category. How's that feeling for you up here this year? You're hitting the ball very well now, a 264 batting average. You've been very good since you've been here. How are you feeling out here in Alaska now?
I'm feeling great. I love all the guys on my team, and it's easy to play with these guys, and they make it fun and enjoyable. So I'm having a great time up here.
And it's been a good week for you guys now. You go up to Fairbanks, a team that beat you in the top of the World Series last year. I know you weren't here, but to all the folks out here in Palmer, it's a big thing to them that they were listening to that last year and that where they may have been out in Anchorage last year watching the Miners get swept by the Gold Panthers. You guys sweep them in 5 games this year. How fun was that for you guys to go out there and on the road and the 6-hour trip out there and get out there and win every game out there, the 3 games there, and then obviously the 2 games earlier this year?
Yeah, that was big for us. Pete he talked to us before the game and said that was huge. He never swept the Panthers, and he just thanked us for playing well. And I had a great time up in Fairbanks.
Played very well up there as well. And again, 2 doubles tonight. Now, your team at 30-8 now. We'll talk about the team chemistry and what it's like in the locker room right now. Now, winning 30 games and just 38 played so far.
Our team chemistry is amazing. I get along with every one of the guys. We make jokes, and everyone just gets along with everyone. We hang out all the time, and it's just great. I love it up here.
And now you guys have now locked up everything. You've won the division, the NL division a couple nights ago. Now you won home field advantage here in the top of the World Series, which was from winning the NL division. What's your focus now as a team going forward the next few days? How as you wind down toward the top of the World Series and you have some games remaining on the regular season schedule?
Our focus is just to keep winning games, just get ready for the playoffs, and win as many games as possible.
Perfect. And any final thoughts tomorrow as you take on the Chinooks for the final time in 2015?
Just keep our head down and keep fighting, and let's get another win tomorrow.
Fantastic. Niles Nygaard, the player of the game today, 2 for 3 today with 2 doubles down the right field line. His last one that would play the go-ahead runs today. The Miners would end up winning 3-2, taking the lead for the final time. That would give them that win, their 30th win of the season. Thanks, Niles, for joining us today. Congratulations to you.
Thank you very much.
We're back with more of the post-game show brought to you by Napa Auto Parts. This is Kyle Howard with Niles Nygaard. Thanks for joining us. We'll be back in just a moment.
Miners 3, Chinooks 2. An intense ball game. Welcome back in. I'm Kevin Peel alongside my partner Kyle Howard. I think the most resounding thing that I will take away from this tonight is what the skipper Ben Taylor said right after we went off camera. That he said it felt like a playoff game against one of the best pitchers in this league. And the Miners find a way, coming back from down 2-1, the clutch hit from Niles Nygaard to win this ball game 3-2. Just doesn't get much better than that. And Brick Paskowitz, again, cool as the other side of the pillow, locking down a save. It seems like half of his save opportunities this year, the tying run has been in scoring position, and he just finds a way to get it done every time. This team just continues to amaze us all the way into now July 24th.
And maybe a little bit of a chip on their shoulder today after going in 29-8 overall, 26-7 going into the night, and not being ranked number 1 in the country in the CSB rankings that came out this morning. And a team that maybe talking about today thought they maybe should have been ranked a little bit higher at the number 1 spot, but kept at the number 2 spot. They go out there and perform well. They fall behind again. They win their 10th game this season, come from behind fashion. They just continue to battle. They don't give up. That's a big thing with this team now. In the 30th win, a third of those wins have come from behind fashion. That's a team that just continues to play start to finish, no matter who the pitcher is on the hill. And Connor Menez, they don't get blown out. That's the thing that they've really stressed on. There's a team that really stays in every ball game, and even against Connor Menez, who's been outstanding this year, they continue to battle. You come late in the ball game, they regain the lead. The Miners are gonna be able to hold on usually. More often than not, you have the lockdown bullpen they have, and tonight, obviously, Corbin Martin getting the night off, but then comes Caleb McCann, who's been outstanding again, hadn't allowed a run since June 21st, keeps that streak up tonight. And now Brick Paskowitz, of course, getting another save. Maybe a little bit scary there in the 9th inning, but he's had that situation up earlier in the year as well, where he'd allow runners on, but still continues to get out of the jam every time. So he's now 12 of 12 in save opportunities. Can't get any more perfect than that.
And this is one of those wins that when you look at it, 3-2 over a Chugiak-Eagle River Chinooks team that is struggling, now falling to 15-23, 14-20. A team that since that 8-game winning streak in June has really seen a lot of hardship, a lot of tough losses, several of those to the Pilots now all season long against the Miners. Right now they fall to 2-13. That's including non-conference games as well against the Miners. But when you look at it from a perspective of looking at the game from the perspective we saw it and not just looking simply at the box score, you just know it was a completely different game. It was a ball game in which the Miners had to work really hard. And also in talking to the Chinooks broadcasters before they left, they said this was just a fantastic ball game. 2 teams going at it, one of the best games they've seen in a while, because ultimately in the end, it came down to the Miners having to find a way to execute, getting that clutch hit from Niles Nygaard. And when you look at it too, the Miners threw a guy that is on the border of trying to get a rotation spot in the top of the World Series in Kyle Simons. But yet you look at his record, he's 5-0, he has a sub-2 ERA, and he went neck and neck with one of the most consistent and best pitchers in this league. It just goes to show you the extreme depth that this pitching staff has.
And with Kyle Simons pitching that well, just making it so difficult on Ben Taylor and the rotation he's going to set for the top of the World Series. Oh, yeah, you've got the next few days to think about as well, but he's going to have to set at some point, probably have to set his rotation in order so that way he has the depth ready to go for the top of the World Series, and the guys in order, so they've been well rested before that spot. He's got a couple of big decisions to make in the next few days of what order he wants to go in. And obviously, I honestly think you can make a case for any of the 5 guys out there this year why they should start in the top of the World Series this year. It's not easy. It's a good problem to have if you're Ben Taylor. And again, the Miners continue to roll. And on the mound, it's been phenomenal for the pitching staff this year. And you'll see it again tomorrow night when Calvin LeBrun takes the hill.
On Tuesday, the Miners got their first main goal in the bag by getting to the top of the World Series. Their second main goal achieved by getting home field advantage in that top of the World Series tonight. Still the third one, which can't be achieved till August 4th, depending on if they're able to win the top of the World Series. You look at it now, and there's still 7 games left in this season. And while one may think that the Miners don't have something to play for, make no mistake. This is a team that is still going to be coming out every night, playing hard, trying to make sure they are keeping themselves ready. Because the one thing that you want to avoid that sometimes I think a lot of NFL teams run into, those who are the top seeds in the conference, is benching players when they know that their spot is locked up and determined. But the skipper, Ben Taylor, and this Miners team is not going to be like that. They are still going to be clicking on all cylinders here. There's still something to play for in terms of trying to lock up the season series against the Pilots, which they lead right now 6-4, but have 3 contests against them at home next week. Right now, this Miners team only 1-3 at home against the Pilots this year. They would like to try and lock that up. Also, a couple tough matches against the top teams in that AL division. They'll play the Bucks at home next week on Tuesday, the 28th, before traveling to Kenai to play the Oilers on August 1st and 2nd. So this is a team that's not going to be slowing down. They're going to be tuning themselves to get ready for that top of the World Series.
And as you said, you've seen a lot of teams going football-wise, a good comparison to make because you see a lot of teams going there, get the top seed, and really just kind of tank at the end because they've had a lot of guys, too rested, for lack of a better term, I guess. The Miners, as you said, not going to do that. That's important to keep those guys fresh to go and a good momentum to go. Why as Ben Taylor was saying, why really slow that down when you've had a team that's won 30 games and 38 tries? Why would you want to slow them down a little bit? So Ben Taylor's philosophy makes a lot of sense there and why he'd want to do it that way.
And his team will be ready, you can bet, come that top of the World Series time. But still 7 games to come before that, starting with tomorrow night. Another Saturday weekend game here in Palmer. And the last time the Chinooks and Miners will square off for the season tomorrow. Kyle, any final thoughts on this one or looking forward to tomorrow?
Well, tomorrow the Miners look to just finish off strong against the Chinooks and keep pushing forward. It's a team that they've had a lot less to play for as the season's progressed, and the regular season at least, in the last couple nights at least, and they continue to win. So it's a team that doesn't just settle on that. They don't ever settle. They don't settle at losing early in games. They've won 10 in come-from-behind fashion. So, again, if you're looking for a theme, that this team does not settle. So I expect them to come out here strong again tomorrow against the Chinooks, and they're hoping to get another win again to go 14-2 against the Chinooks overall in the season.
Coming into this day, the Mat-Su Miners had a magic number of 1 to clinch home field in the top of the World Series. Instead of letting the Bucks and Oilers decide their fate, they took it upon themselves. They win tonight in a tough playoff-like baseball game by a final score of 3-2. Kyle Simons improving to 5-0 on the season. Just incredible, Kyle. Those numbers, 5-0 with a sub-2 ERA. Connor Menez gets handed his second loss of the season to fall to 3-2. And Brick Paskowitz stays perfect, now 12 for 12 in saves. Join us again tomorrow. It will be the last time, as we said, that the Chinooks and Miners will face each other. That game will be at 6 p.m. with the Napa Auto Parts pregame show coming to you at 5:45. Kyle and I, as always, will have the call for you. So for my partner, Kyle Howard, I'm Kevin Peele saying so long from Palmer, and we will talk to you tomorrow. It's a happy night here in Palmer. Miners will host the top of the World Series. But until tomorrow, have a good night.